I have come that you may have life and have it to the fullest. This is a promise of our Lord to all humanity, to every man and a woman, every rich and poor, and very specially a promise to the vulnerable and the marginalized people of the society. I have come across many women who want to be educated, but unfortunately, the culture and the system in our nation does not allow them. I have come across many women who are uneducated, and they struggle for life. They are shamed, they are looked down upon, their voice is suppressed. I have also come across women who are, after education, have been instrument of empowerment to their family, to the community, and to the society. And today I would like to share some of the women with whom I work. You see one slide there, that is Lily. She's from one of our villages, 26-year-old woman. She has 3 children, and she stays in a joint family of 12 people. I work in a tribal belt, and in tribal belt, joint family is a very common phenomenon. The sole agriculture of her family is, sole livelihood of her family is agriculture. They also rear some goats, and they go to the forest and pick up some root vegetables, some mushrooms, some fruits, and they sell it in the market. In the area where I work, actually there is no public transportation. It's a hilly area, it's a forest area. Communication is very bad there. And to sell anything in the market, they have to walk, especially from this village and many other villages, at least 6 kilometers through the forest. So one Christmas Saturday, she took her fattened goat to sell it in the market to get some good money for the provision to be bought for the Christmas. As it happens usually, that most of these goods there are bought by outside agents. The men from outside come and they buy, and they often stand outside the market, snatch things from women, and then they take it. Lily, as she brought this goat and she was a kilometer away from this market, a man stopped her, took the goat from her, and produced 500 rupees note to her. She, with her frail and frightened voice, showed a denial for that, saying, "This is not sufficient." And he kept saying, "How much more you need?" It's actually, this is sufficient. And he kept giving her 10 rupee notes. When few notes came in her hand, he just took the goat, he walked away. Lily, having seen many notes in her hand, was very happy and satisfied, and she returned home. When she went home in the evening and produced that money to the family, the men of the family started scolding her because the 580 rupees which she had received was not sufficient even for the fodder that they had fed for that goat, and the goat would have been worth otherwise around 2,000 rupees. Few days later, I went to that village for the meeting, and after the meeting, as I was chatting with women, her husband came. And her husband was narrating me this incident. So I told him, I said, "How is that Lily, when she gets many notes of 580 rupees, that she thinks it's a lot of money and does not realize the value of it, but you know the value of that money?" And he said, "Sister, I am 10 standard grade pass. She is illiterate." So then I said, "Then whose fault it is?" This is what is a situation of many women there. They are cheated, exploited, and then quite often they get scolding or their voice is suppressed by family members or so-called educated. Next, following month when we had a meeting in the village, I asked Lily to share her experience. As she was sharing this experience, all other women, for them it was common, and they came up with each one of their stories, and they said, "Oh, I have done this. I am not allowed to talk in the family. Whenever I open my mouth, they say, you don't understand, you keep quiet. Our opinion is not taken. There were two women from there, one was Tetri, one was Nina. And they both said that children, we wanted to be educated. How much we cried. But both of them experience was that one was kept away from school because she had to look after her brother. Tetri was kept for that. The another one said, no, my parents were going to the field and they said, if you go to school, there is nobody to cook and nobody to see to the domestic work of the family. And so she was kept behind. I told them, I said, the time and opportunity is not lost. Would you like to be educated? And in one voice, they all said, yes, we would like to be. So in the same village, we started functional literacy classes. For 8 months, we took those classes, only 1.5 hours a day for 6 days a week. And in that, we taught them alphabets, we taught them numbers, we exposed them to the notes. We told them how to write bank account, how to read bank books, how to write accounts, because these are the members of self-help groups. We exposed them to the government documents, how to write application to the government. And with that, today, Lily is a secretary of that group. And the whole life had changed in that village. These women themselves, when the village meetings are held, they go, they sit there for the meetings. If there are some important issue which are ignored, they themselves bring it to the notice of them. And you believe it or no, in past 3 years, these women have motivated 600 women, other women, for this literacy program, and these 600 women are now educated to the same things. In all those villages, 12, 13 villages where these women are educated, the whole life had changed. In the livelihood, the cheating is minimized. Their relationships are better. The health status is better. And the important thing is, every child from these villages now is going to school. You know, education is important, but it is very significantly important to women. Because we all know that a woman is educated, a girl child is educated, there's a ripple effect of it. She is the one who nurtures the child very closely. She is the one, for all practical purposes, manages the household. She is the one who has innovative knowledge, and quite often, if a woman is educated, she is able to see through very many things. Talking about Indian education system, actually, one will wonder why we have to go into this experiment when India has the most beautiful policies for education. And we do have good programs and do good policies. There is a midday meal given. There is a right to education, which is ensuring every education for all, education for every child. For gender inclusion, there's a 12 standard, the girls' education is free. But, you know, India, if many of you all may know also, there are beautiful programs, there are beautiful policies, but there is no conducive environment, and there is also no mechanism to implement all these things. You know, presently, if you see, India's women's literacy rate is very low. 68% of our children who are drop out, among them 68% are girl child. This doesn't happen just like that. There are reasons for it. The whole secondary status of women, and woman perceived as a weaker section, plays very important role. From female foeticide, she is seen as somebody's daughter, somebody's wife, then somebody's mother, somebody else's property. If you go to the villages and if you ask woman by her name, nobody will know, and say, I want to go to this particular woman's house, nobody will know. But if you say so-and-so's wife, they will take you there. If you say so-and-so's mother, they will take you there. Children have come after her in that village, or her own children, but they will know. But a woman's name, people don't know. And so, especially where the poverty is concerned, the poor families, the laborer class, it's very easy for them to keep girl behind so that that girl, while her brothers are being educated, while her parents have gone on the field to work, that the girl is managing the family. I'm working in Jharkhand, Orissa, Chhattisgarh. These are tribal-dominated areas. Trafficking is a burning issue there. Our center also works for trafficking. It's very common now that the tribal girls are supplied to metropolitan cities for cheap domestic labor work. In past 2 months, 12 such girls we have rescued from very unpleasant circumstances, all the girls between the age of 12 to 16. They are deprived of education. They are sent there. Many of them were actually picked up by the agents on their way to school. 2 of the girls were really sold. And poverty is such that the parents feel that it's easy way to get rich, that to send a girl to the metropolitan city, that she works there, the money will come home. In many cases, it doesn't happen. The girl goes there, girl gets lost. Or when she comes back, she comes pregnant. And for these reasons, quite often the education is suppressed. You know, when I see this happening, especially a girl who's not allowed to be bloomed, whose potential is suppressed, her freedom, her desires are suppressed, I say this is such disrespect to God, one who created in his image and who created us as man and women in his image, who promised us to have life to its fullest. It's the situation when you see, I don't speak much. Chantal is making eyes at me. But I would like to end it with a note that in India, I must say that the church is working really selflessly. In the corners of the nation where our government has not reached, there is no education system, though everything is done on the papers and government offices will show you good papers, there many priests, many nuns, many religious have reached, opened the schools, opened the hostels, and it is not exaggeration if there are few marginalized who have been recipient of a good quality education that is only because of church, though church is a minority in our nation. And though church doesn't really have a favorable situation, Christian and the minority don't have a favorable situation for us in our nation from the political point of view. Most of our schools and the hostels, if you see, they are open for all. And under the breath, yes, our government also acknowledges that that is where we have reached. As I'm sharing here, I would only like to express my desire that one Lily and one SHG, if they are promoted in every village, I think our nation will see very different days. Thank you.